Today I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't admit out loud. If you're emotionally attached to shopping, it's not really about the clothes. It looks like fashion, it looks like style, but when you scratch beneath the surface, it's usually about something else entirely. I've seen it so many times, women telling me I have nothing to wear while standing in front of a wardrobe that could probably dress 10 people. And I've been there too, buying something new, not because I needed it, but because in that moment I was stressed or bored or anxious and I thought the right purchase would somehow make everything better. And it works for a few minutes. You get the package, you wear it once, you feel that tiny spark, then the high is gone and you are right back where you started. That's why I wanted to start here, because clothes are never just clothes. They are tied to how we see ourselves, how we want others to see us, and sometimes they are the mask we put on when we don't want to deal with what's happening underneath. In this video, I want to unpack that, why we get so emotionally attached to shopping, what's really going on behind the impulse, and most importantly, how to separate your self-worth from what's hanging in your closet. Because your glow up is never about the logo on your bag or the number of dresses you own. It's about who you are when you're not hiding behind them. You know that feeling when life feels heavy? Maybe you are stuck in a job you don't like, maybe your relationship feels off, maybe you're just overwhelmed and suddenly the easiest thought that pops into your head is, I need something new. It might be a bag, a pair of jeans, or even something small like lipstick. It feels urgent, like buying that thing will make your whole day better. That's not about fashion, that's about needing change, and the closet is just the easiest place to grab it. I call this the illusion of change, because for a moment it does work. You buy something, you try it on, you feel different, and in that moment your brain gets a hit of relief. But you know, it's not solving the actual thing that's weighing on you. It's like painting over a crack in the wall. It looks fine until the paint chips and the crack is still there. I've spoken to so many women who tell me, I don't know why I keep shopping when I don't even wear half of what I buy. And when we dig into it, it's always the same patterns. Shopping when they are anxious, shopping when they're lonely, shopping when they are avoiding a decision. This is a big one. Shopping when they don't feel in control of their life. Because the truth is, changing your outfit is a lot easier than changing your situation. And the fashion industry knows this. That's why trends move so fast. That's why sales are constant. They are not just selling clothes, they're selling that tiny spark of newness, that feeling of possibility of change. But my dear, when your self-worth depends on that spark, you're always going to need another one, and another one, and another one. That's why you might have a closet full of clothes and still wake up and think, I have nothing to wear. It's not that you don't own enough, it's that your wardrobe does not match the life you're actually living or the woman you're trying to become. And that's why emotional attachment to shopping is never about style, it's about survival, it's about finding relief in the only way you know how. But survival is not living, and you deserve better than that, and you know that. So let's talk about what's really going on when you feel that emotional pull toward shopping. Sometimes it's boredom. You're scrolling, you're restless, you don't want to sit with your thoughts, and suddenly that ad shows up at the right time and you bag a trending jacket, a pair of shoes, and you think, well, I do need something fresh, but what you actually needed was stimulation, a challenge, a new project, not another pair of sneakers. Sometimes it's avoidance. There is a decision you don't want to make, ending in a relationship, leaving a job, starting a difficult conversation, and instead of facing it, you scroll a little longer, add to cart, and tell yourself, at least I got something done today. But all you did was delay the hard thing. Sometimes it's identity. This one is big. You might not even notice it, but a lot of us shop to signal to ourselves and to others who we think we are. Maybe you're trying to dress like the version of you who finally has her life together, or you want people at work to take you more seriously, or you want to look like the woman you admire online. And then sometimes it's just habit. Years of using shopping as comfort or reward, like how some people reach for food, others for their phone, others for a drink, others for shopping becomes the acceptable escape, and no one really calls you out for it because consumerism is normalized. Where it gets dangerous is when your self-worth gets tied to what you buy. If your mood is ruined because the package didn't arrive, if your confidence drops because someone else wore the same thing as you, if your sense of being enough shifts depending on whether your outfit is new, then it's not about fashion anymore. It's about validation. And validation is a bottomless pit. No matter how many logos you wear or how many holes you film, it's never enough. Because the real need is not in your closet, the real need is inside you. That's why I always say your wardrobe can't fix what you refuse to face. It can support you, it can help you show up stronger, but it can't heal you. Sometimes we don't actually want to fix the problem. We want the temporary relief more than the long-term solution, and that's why people stay stuck for years. They don't realize that they're outsourcing their self-worth to things that were never designed to hold it. Now, let's take this out of theory and into real life. I've seen this over and over again. When your shopping habits are tied to your emotions, it leaks into every other area of life. Let's start with relationships. How many times have you bought something new before a date or an event just to feel like you're enough? Or maybe you didn't want to feel smaller next to someone else, so you thought that outfit would level the playing field? But when you use clothes as your only armor, people can feel that insecurity. They don't see confidence. They see someone trying really hard to project it, and that energy affects how people treat you. Now let's talk career. I've met women who literally held themselves back from applying for a job or speaking on stage because they didn't feel like they had the right wardrobe yet. Think about those opportunities lost, money left on the table because your self-worth was waiting on a delivery package. When your value is attached to a brand name or a trend, you play small and thus are stuck in the same job and level the whole life. And then there is money itself. Of course. Shopping tied to self-worth keeps you broke. Not because you don't make money, but because every time you start building momentum, the urge to spend sabotages it. It's like pouring water into a bucket with holes, and then the frustration builds. Why can't I get ahead? Why am I always starting over? Well, because you're chasing relief instead of stability. I've even seen it in friendships. Someone says, let's go out, and instead of thinking about the fun or the conversation, the first thought is, but I have nothing to wear. And suddenly, what should have been a connection moment becomes another reason to swipe your card. The social life becomes conditional on what's hanging in your closet. And this is truly sad. The perfect outfits, the polished Instagram feed, the constant shopping, it looks like you've got it together, but deep down you know that's dependency. And when your sense of self is that fragile, it shows up everywhere, in how you argue with your partner, in how you price your work, in how you negotiate your salary, or don't negotiate at all, in how much space you allow yourself to take up. The world judges based on appearances, yes, but it also judges the energy behind those appearances. You can look amazing but still carry the energy of someone who doesn't believe in herself, and people pick up on that faster than you think. So how do you actually break the cycle? The first thing to understand is that it's not about cutting shopping out of your life completely. You're not a monk, and clothes are not the enemy. It's about cutting the attachment, the feeling that your worth depends on what's in your bag, or that your confidence can only exist when you're dressed a certain way. Here is where you start. Step 1. Build awareness. Next time you get that urge to shop, pause and ask, what am I actually feeling right now? Am I bored? Am I lonely? Am I stressed? Usually the urge has nothing to do with the clothes and everything to do with filling a gap. Write it down, track it. Once you see the pattern, it loses power. Step 2. Separate style from self-worth. Yes, your appearance matters, but your value does not increase or decrease with a pair of shoes. Your self-worth is in your work, your kindness, your presence, your ambition. Remind yourself, I am valuable whether I'm in pajamas or in a blazer. Style should highlight that truth, not replace it. Step 3. Rebuild your relationship with clothes. Start choosing outfits from respect, not desperation. Respect for your body, your energy, your goals. Ask yourself, does this outfit support the woman I want to be? Step 4. Create other coping tools. If you shop when you're anxious, find a different release. Walk, journal, call someone who won't just hype another shopping trip but will remind you who you are. If you shop when you're bored, pick up a project that actually builds you. The goal is not to remove joy, it's to stop outsourcing your self-worth to your wardrobe. And step 5, let go of guilt. You will relapse. You will buy something on impulse sometimes. That doesn't mean you're back to zero. The difference is awareness. Now you can catch it faster, reset, and move on. The glow up does not happen because you never sleep. It happens because you stop letting sleep define you. When you detach your worth from shopping, you don't lose confidence, you gain freedom. Freedom to wear your favorite outfit without panic. Freedom to repeat clothes without shame. Freedom to say no to trends that don't align with you. Because the real flex is not having a new outfit every week. It's being so grounded in who you are that nothing in your closet or anyone else's has the power to shrink you. So let me leave you with this. If you're emotionally attached to shopping, it's never about the clothes. It's about how you see yourself when the makeup's off, when the closet stays the same for months, when no package is arriving at your door. Your self-worth is not hanging on a dress. It's not hanging on a handbag. It's not hanging on a logo that some brand convinced you meant something. You can lose the outfit, you can lose the hair, you can lose the weight, you can lose the glow up for a season, but you never lose you. And when you remember that, clothes stop being a mask and start becoming a tool, a way to amplify who you already are, not a way to hide what you think you're missing. So my hope for you watching this is simple. Stop trying to solve your emptiness with a new outfit. Start solving it by building the version of you that feels enough in every room, no matter what you're wearing. That's the real glow up, not the one that comes from Zara hauls or Temu cards or chasing luxury labels, but the one that comes from clearing the trash out of your mind, out of your body, out of your closet, and realizing you were always valuable. Because no one is leveling up in life still wearing fast fashion polyester, but even more than that, no one's leveling up in life still believing their worth is for sale. If this resonates, sit with it. Don't just move on to the next video. Ask yourself, what am I actually trying to change when I shop? And what would it look like if I started changing that instead? Hope this helps.